Hi, everyone. Hope you're all having a great night here. Mike here with the Weather Center, and just wanted to kind of bring you an update on what we can expect. And let me know if you guys can hear me, please. Thumbs up or in the comments, and we'll get the show rolling here. So as we go through this, obviously the big talker is going to be that winter storm that is coming our way here as we go through tomorrow and also tomorrow night. So let's get into things here. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, and we'll answer them here as we go through. So here's a look at what we had throughout the day today. It was a nice day, lots of sunshine in parts of the area. We had some clouds, but you can see the sun did come out as we went into the afternoon. And then as we saw highs today only get into the low to mid 30s. So it was a chilly day in part because we saw high pressure over our area. But that is important because that high pressure is going to keep that cold air in place with this winter storm that is coming our way as we go through tomorrow. So that is what we're going to be dealing with here. If you are heading out tonight, just so you are aware, temperatures are in the 20s if you're in the mountains and 30s in the valleys. So that's what we're looking at this time, just around 6:45 here tonight. Here's a look at the actual wind chill temperatures, though. You can see it feels like we're in the 20s across pretty much the entire area, only Stroudsburg feeling like you're in the teens right now. And here's a look at the forecast for the next 12 hours. And you can see, again, it'll be pretty quiet, but those clouds do increase as we go through the night tonight ahead of that winter storm. All right, here's a look at the storm system right now. It is in the Gulf Coast. It is bringing lots of rain to the Gulf Coast, and eventually we're moving up the eastern seaboard and then moving in our way. So right now, bringing heavy rain to places like Mississippi, Alabama, Panhandle of Florida, and also Louisiana, starting to move out there in parts of Tennessee. As we look at the water vapor satellite, you could see just how much moisture and how this thing is just with it and how it's wrapping around. We're going to be watching this move all our way. So we got all that moisture coming our way, and that's what we're dealing with here as we go through tomorrow and also Sunday. All right, here's a look at the updated snow totals for our area. So this is what we got. There is a little bit of a change. You can see that 4 to 6 inch range has now been extended farther to the west here in parts of central Pennsylvania. So before we had a 2 to 4 that kind of stopped right at the border there of Lycoming and Clinton County. That has now been pushed to the west. The 6 to 8 inch range has also been pulled across the Endless Mountains. So that has now been extended to the west as well. Wyoming Valley and Susquehanna Valley areas are still in that 4 to 6 range. Still expecting some mixing down here near Pottsville, Jim Thorpe, and Stroudsburg. They're right around 209, between 209 and 78. We'll see that rain snow line here. And then in the mountains of the Poconos and eastern PA, you're looking at 6 to 8 inches. And if you are in Wayne County, Pike County, and northern Monroe County, that's where I think you're going to get to see the most snow of 8 to 10 inches plus here. So it would not be surprised if we see a little bit more than that in those areas. And the reason why these totals have been updated this way is because we have been seeing a little bit of signs of banding across these areas, and that could easily dump an inch or two very quickly. So that's why these totals have gone up a little bit in that area. But pretty much the biggest change has been the 6 to 8 being pulled across the Endless Mountains there of Susquehanna County, Bradford County, even Wyoming, northern Lackawanna County, and also there a little bit into Bradford and Sullivan counties. That's the biggest change with this snow map here as we go through this video presentation or this live stream. In terms of the timing of this, if you have anything you need to do tomorrow in the morning, you're fine. You can do it. This is not going to be a morning issue. This will be an afternoon and evening issue. So if you want to go grocery shopping tomorrow, just do it in the morning. If you want to go out anywhere, again, in the morning, you'll be fine. It's the afternoon and the evening when we're going to start seeing that snow move into the area and really pile up. Saturday evening is when we're going to see that heaviest snow move across the area here. So as we take a look at the winds as well, then you see temperatures will be right around the freezing. So this will be a heavy, wet snow for the most part. Winds will begin to pick up tomorrow evening and tomorrow night a little bit. So some of that snow could be blowing around at times across the area. So just keep that in mind here too. Highs tomorrow, again, they're going to be in the 30s. It's going to be cold enough for snow as we go throughout the day. Okay, so heavy, wet snow in some places. We do have the winter storm warnings in effect for everyone. You can see the respective time frame based on your area there. Clinton, Snyder, Union County, you are from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. The reason why it's 7 a.m. is because you have a few counties to your south, which the snow will arrive a bit earlier for you. So you're just kind of included in that block. As we go into Lycoming, Sullivan, Montour, Northumberland counties, as well as Columbia and Schuylkill County, your winter storm warning will start at 10 a.m. and go through 1 a.m. And then if you are in Northeast Pennsylvania, pretty much Bradford, Susquehanna, Wayne, Pike, Wyoming, Luzerne, and Lackawanna County, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m., 11 a.m. Saturday to 7 p.m. Sunday for you. And then for the Poconos in Monroe and Carbon County, 1 o'clock Saturday afternoon through 6 o'clock Sunday evenings. That is what we are looking in the terms of with the winter storm warnings there across the area. And just so you are aware, a winter storm warning for us means 6 inches or more of snow in 12 plus hours. Lesser amounts of snow can be forecast for mixed precipitation, but that is generally what we look for is the 6-inch mark here. And it does look like we're going to be getting that, like I said, across a lot part of the area. All right, this is what a lot of you probably want to see is the Futurecast model. So this is a look at the Futurecast model. We're quiet tonight. Those clouds roll back in overnight tonight. Tomorrow morning, like I said, we're fine, but around noontime, 1 o'clock in central Pennsylvania, that's when the snow will begin to arrive. And it will begin in Snyder, Union County, Northumberland County, as well as Clinton County. You can see starting that southwest to northeast motion. So Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, 1 o'clock tomorrow, you're likely going to be dry. As not until around 2, 3 o'clock where it moves into you. A bit later if you are in Honesdale and New Milford, Stroudsburg, around that 2 to 3 time frame as well. Notice, though, that mixing is starting to move in Saturday night as we head into the 6, 7 o'clock time frame around Schuylkill County. It's going to push right along our area, and that's why you saw that huge drop-off there all of a sudden. It's because I do think we'll see that mixing. Looks like it's going to stop right at the edge of our area. So anything south, we'll get a lot of mixing. Us here, it looks like this one's going to be mainly snow, but also notice these darker bands, these darker blues showing up here on the Futurecast model. Those bands and the snow has been going a little bit farther north now that we're starting to get into where the higher resolution models are coming in. They're pushing it a little bit farther north, hence why you saw the total increase there for the Endless Mountains, especially. And then as we head into Saturday night, by 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, things starting to wrap up for you tomorrow in Lock Haven, Williamsport area. So by midnight, central Pennsylvania is actually going to be starting to dry out. And then as we head into Sunday morning, then it begins to pull away at least the heavy rain or heavy snow, for northeast Pennsylvania. And then as we head into Sunday morning, it's going to become a little more scattered. I think this is a little underdone with that, to be honest with you. On Sunday, it looks like it'll be a little more than that. But Sunday, you can see how we have some scattered snow showers there into the afternoon, hence why your winter storm warning will continue while central Pennsylvania's will not as we go into your Sunday. So that is a look at the timing. Just to show you this is one of the products that we use for snowfall forecasting. It's the probability of getting 2 inches or more. You can see pretty much everyone except areas along Pottsville and south are at 95% chance of you hitting at least 2 inches. Pottsville and southern Schuylkill County, you're at 90% there. Once I turn on 4%, you can see it starts to change a little bit, but pretty much we're still saying 80 or higher for most of us here, 80% or higher for at least 4 inches across our area. And as we look at 6 inches of snow, you can see, again, a good portion of us, at least 50% chance or higher that we're going to see at least 6 inches of snow in that area here, especially across Susquehanna, Wayne, and Pike County and northern Monroe County there. Once I turn on 12 inches, it has gone up from yesterday, but we're still looking around at most 10% chance of that happening here in our area. So not a great chance to see a foot. So if you want a foot, this is not your storm. You're going to have to go into New York State, if not even a little bit farther to the north and east for that. But for us, looks like anywhere from 4 to 8 inches widespread. Some places will get a little bit more than that, like you saw on that snow map here. So let's move on from that. This is one of the forecast models that we do use. It's the graph model. It is a high resolution model, and I know some of you like to look at them. This is what it's saying. Again, you can see valleys a little less as usual, but generally we're looking at 4 to 8 inches, a few places, maybe a little bit more than that. That's one model, though. As we take a look at your HRRR model, similar, but a little bit lesser amounts for us here. And you can see Bloomsburg not even hitting that 4-inch mark according to this model. And same thing with Pottsville. The reason for that is that this model brings mixing a little bit farther north than you. Wilkes-Barre, Scranton around 4 inches according to this. And then, but you can still see, again, the mountains in the eastern Pennsylvania to the east of 81, getting anywhere from that, especially that 6 to 8 inches here, and maybe even higher up to around 10 inches in some areas, and also in the Endless Mountains. So this is exactly why those totals increased here. Even though they're showing different numbers, the trends are the same. Endless Mountains in the mountains, northern PA, and then also in eastern Pennsylvania, seeing a little bit more than the valleys here as we go through. So this is a look at that snow map once again. 4 to 6 inches in the valleys, especially in central Pennsylvania. 6 to 8 for the Endless Mountains across places like Towanda, Tunkhannock, New Milford, and then as we head into the Poconos as well. A little bit more for those of you in Wayne and Pike County, as well as northern Monroe County. So not going to be a blockbuster snowstorm. You're not going to have to, go raid this grocery store tomorrow. You'll be fine here, but this will be a heavier snow. So just make sure you are taking breaks as you are shoveling it. If you need help with shoveling with it, maybe try and make some arrangements for that as we go through the weekend. Try to shovel maybe every couple inches instead of all of it at once. Isolated power outages are possible. Don't think they're going to be widespread with this, thankfully, because the wind's not going to be cranking with this one. It'll still be breezy at times, but we're not going to be seeing, huge wind gusts with this. So that will be some good news as well with this system as it comes on through. So for those of you who just joined us, here's a look at that map one more time across the area. And notice again, for those of you maybe south in our area, maybe towards Allentown or even the Philadelphia area, it drops off considerably. If you are south of Allentown, you're basically getting nothing with this. Here, you're going to be too much rain with that one. So that is what we're looking at here over the next really 24 to 48 hours. But it's not going to end there. We actually have another storm system coming our way, and we'll talk about that here briefly. But you may have heard that on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, we could see another winter storm. And that is true. Monday, by the way, is going to be a nice day. So Monday, you'll be able to get out and be fine. Now, at least with this one, we're going to go over it briefly. Starts off maybe a little bit of mixing, and then you can see by Tuesday afternoon, Tuesday evening, it just switches all over to rain here, and heavy rain even Tuesday night and into Wednesday. So we will have to watch that for the heavy rain potential, especially in the Poconos, as we head into midweek next week. But that will be next week's ordeal. Like I said, we're still dealing with this one here. In terms of the Northeast Pennsylvania expectations, this is what we got here for our area. And timing, again, 2 o'clock tomorrow to about 7 a.m. on Sunday for the widespread heavy stuff. Some lingering snow showers after that, but for the widespread stuff, it'll be over by the time you wake up Sunday, or just wrapping things up. Snow will be the main thing, but some valley mixing is possible, especially down by Pottsville in Schuylkill County, and also just before you get into the mountains there in Monroe County, right around the Lehigh Tunnel, as you head into the Poconos, that'll be probably the cutoff. We're between snow and the rain. It'll be right around there if you are heading in that area, and also Stroudsburg for those of you coming maybe from New Jersey. As we take a look at central Pennsylvania's expectations, 1 o'clock tomorrow, maybe even noontime for those of you that are a little bit more towards central PA. By that, I mean closer to State College. And again, snow for the most part here, but by midnight tomorrow night, this thing will be wrapping up for those of you in central Pennsylvania. Valleys, 4 to 6, up to 8 in the mountains. That'll be mainly for places in Bradford, Sullivan County, maybe a few of the higher elevations of Lycoming County with that one. But no matter how you slice it, it's going to be feeling the impacts here with the travel. I do want to show this. This is the Winter Storm Severity Index. And what it does is it shows what you can expect impact-wise here. It takes into account what is a normal day for that area. So you're not going to see 1 inch of snow bring extreme impacts for us, but maybe in Florida. So it does take that into account here, that we are more accustomed to snow in this area, but still we're looking at moderate impacts. So we will see some impacts with this, but it's not going to be a blockbuster. So for those of you who are worried about a huge snowstorm that, it's going to shut everything down for days, this will not be it. It's just going to be your standard Northeast Pennsylvania snowstorm with this one. So that is pretty much it. For those of you who just jumped on, we'll go over the timing again. Let me find that graphic. Problems of having a lot of graphics is that you lose them. All right, here's a look at the FeatureCast model tomorrow. Keep in mind, this is one model, but I do think it has the best start time with it here, and also how quickly things fill in. Around 1 o'clock tomorrow for Lycoming, Clinton County, Snyder, Union County, Montour, and Schuylkill County. You can see basically if you are west and south of Bloomsburg, you're going to start seeing the snow probably around this time. Keep in mind that you might experience what we call virga, that is precipitation that's falling but not hitting the ground. So your radar on your phone may say it's snowing. You step outside and it's dry. It's because you're interacting with dry air. You're experiencing some virga, very common within the first hour of a snowstorm. So keep in mind that may happen. It may be an hour after what you're expecting, and that's why. If you head into Northeast Pennsylvania, you're looking anytime really after 3. And then we're going to start talking, all right, how far north does that mixing line get? You can see, according to this model, it basically takes over the southern half of Schuylkill County, maybe even a little bit there into Northumberland County, but that's about as far north as it gets. And then everyone else is just dealing with snow as we head with this system here. But also, some of the heavier snow bands will not be surprised if we see an inch an hour or maybe even getting closer to 2 inches per hour in some of those bands. So that is why we're going to see, even though it's a relatively quick mover, the snow will pile up tomorrow because we're going to see some of those heavier bands as we go on through this storm system here. Maybe even a little mixing there near Stroudsburg. Again, you can see kind of where that line is, and that's why those snow totals dropped off so quickly in those areas. Central Pennsylvania, by midnight, you're done. And then as you head into Eastern PA, again, Sunday morning, probably around 7 o'clock is a good bet for you with that. So that's all I have for you guys. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. If you are watching this on our website page, you do need to go to either our YouTube or Facebook page to enter the comments, and we will answer them for you here as we go throughout the evening. But other than that, guys, that's all I have for you. If anything changes, we will be bringing it here on social media as well as our newscast tonight at 10. We'll also have updates throughout the day tomorrow on what you can expect as we track this winter storm. But really, that is all we got for you. I'll leave you here with the snow map for a few minutes while we close this thing out. Hope you all have a great rest of your Friday night and you enjoy the snow. Don't forget to also send us your snow photos at fox56.com/chime in, and we will show them on social media and on air. With that, guys, have a good night.